Hi, Stefan Swartling here from Swartling Network. Now I finally know why Apple has waited so long to add support for third-party keyboards. And I'm glad they waited so long, because they crashes and makes iOS very unstable. Openness isn't always good, and in this case I prefer the closed iOS we had with iOS 7. At least if this will continue with third-party keyboards, extensions and so on, that makes iOS a lot more unstable. If this continue, I prefer the more closed iOS. With SwiftKey, for example, sometimes the spacebar row at the bottom of the keyboard disappears, so I can't do anything. I can't do any spaces when typing and so on. And sometimes it crashes totally, so I can't use the keyboard anymore, so I have to switch to another keyboard. And the same thing with swipe. It hasn't crashed though, but it makes iOS a lot more laggy. It takes a lot more time to open an app because it waits for the keyboard, for example in a text editor. The Flexi keyboard is the most stable of them all, but it has some strange sizes of the keyboard, so when using it in apps that hasn't support for example the iPad resolution, so when using Flexi then it takes up the complete screen and you don't see anything at the top of it, so you can't type anything anyway, so you can't use the Flexi keyboard in some of the apps because of strange size. And the same thing with extensions. For example, the Pocket extension. At first it didn't work at all, but after an update it started to work. But now it's in different places in the share menu. Sometimes at the last position, and sometimes the first position, and sometimes in the middle or something. So never where I want it to be. And the same thing with the 1Password extension. It crashes a lot and very buggy. It's meant to be used with the Touch ID button, for example, but I never can use the Touch ID. It always need my master keyboard and so on. Very annoying. And I also forgot, when it comes to third-party keyboards, the designs and the settings I do in, for example, Flexi. Every time I restart the iPad, for example, it has a different theme, different settings and so on than what I have choose to have. So I can really understand why Apple has waited so long with third-party keyboards and open up iOS. This is not for the better, it's for the worse. At least from my first experience with iOS 8. Hopefully it gets better with some updates and so on. I hope that, because some of these open stuff like third-party keyboards and extension would be cool if it worked okay. Personally, I'm back on the Apple QuickType keyboard, and I've deactivated all the third-party keyboards, and now iOS runs much better, no lag or anything. So the third-party keyboards makes iOS really unstable and laggy. Okay, that was some of my thoughts about the support for third-party keyboards and extension in iOS 8. Okay, bye.